Let's try this. You look beautiful as always, but
Thank you.
Holy moly, this is a weird one. I think this is the earliest we've ever done a podcast.
It is the earliest we've ever done a podcast. I'm sipping on my coffee this morning because I haven't had my morning cup of coffee, and I was like, "Oh shoot, we're gonna podcast. I need a little juice."
Well, I want to talk about what happened to me yesterday. Rick already knows. You already know. I was not able to podcast. I had a little tickle in my throat. And I always go to Dr. Z over there at Greenhouse Med Spa.
Greenhouse Med Spa, yes. Thank you, Dr. Z, for taking our calls.
Yeah, we love him. And Renae does all her, there.
Dr. Z has a special place in my heart.
Yeah. But, he has these little private rooms. I go get an IV and when I have a little tickle or I'm feeling a little sick, an IV will, boom.
You've talked about it with Rick. We've told Rick, because Rick is like, nope, not doing it. And we're like, you should go get one.
So I go in and they're like, hey, this NAD, NAD,
yes,
is very good for you. And it's a resale generator. And,
okay, I feel like we should also preface this by, this is not a medical podcast. We do not give medical advice.
Yeah, please do not.
When we say what something is or what it does, Rick is definitely going to have to fact check us. We're not medical people.
It's supposed to like rejuvenate your cells. Your cells.
It's like a cellular level. It's supposed to attack the bad stuff.
And Dr. Z's like, man, it really helps with recovery and, sore knees and shoulders and blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, man, put it in there. So I had done it before. Now, when I did it before, Ramon over there, put it a little heavy. So as soon as he
You had done it before.
I had done it before.
Okay. I didn't know. Timmy asked me.
As soon as he cranked up the drip, I got I was going to faint. It hit me hard.
Yeah.
So then he slowed it down. I did it. I left. No issues. Did I remember feeling great after? Not really, but I did it. So this time he was like, hey, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Because I know that you did a 6-week cycle of it.
I don't know. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I just could not get well. They ran all my blood work and they were like, Renae, your blood work is fine. I was like, no, but I'm not fine. I'm so lethargic. I can't get well. And Dr. Z was like, it might be long-term effects of COVID. Why don't you come in every other week and get an IV with NAD? Let's try it for 4 or 6 weeks and see if you get to feeling better. And I really do feel like that got me over whatever I was not getting over. That got me over it.
Well, I know it did great things for you.
Yeah.
So then I was like, yeah, put it in there. So they put it in there and they're like, how you feeling? I go, yeah, I feel normal. It feels like, just an IV.
Yeah.
And then I started driving home and holy mackerel. I mean, I don't know how you didn't freak out. I could not walk. I was shaking so bad, my whole body. I couldn't walk.
You came in the door, and I was actually in the podcast studio, putting bunnies out, decorating.
Because my plan was to walk in and start podcasting.
And I don't know why I walked out in the hall, but I walked in, and you had just walked in the front door. You were like, we have a long hallway down to the podcast studio, and you were shivering so bad. Timmy was the first one to see you because he was in the kitchen. And when I saw you, Timmy was helping you walk.
I couldn't walk.
You were shaking so bad you could hear it audibly, your lips and your
My
mouth
jaw
were
was
making noise.
Yeah.
Timmy said when he went to you that you were drooling.
I sat in the truck for a little bit and then
I wish you would have called us to say I'm coming home. I don't feel good, but you didn't even call.
I had to keep it together to get home. I was telling myself, just get home. And then I was having trouble with the gas pedal because my whole body was shaking. So I finally get here. I get in the bed and
Timmy put you in. Timmy and I put you in bed. Timmy put you in bed. He was so sweet. He took off your shoes. I covered you with the blanket, and your face, your cheeks, your whole body was just shaking.
I couldn't control it. I mean, and this is a terrible analogy, but imagine Michael J. Fox times 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not control myself. So, and here's what's crazy about it. If I were to give you in order where I think my ailments are, right? Of course, my back, because I had back surgery.
Yeah.
So my lower back, my L5, and then my knees would be second, and then my shoulders would be third, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The pain was in that order. The amount of pain, I felt like this NAD like focused on all the areas in my body that were beat up. My lower back, my knees, my shoulders, and the pain, they always tell you like on a scale of 1 to 10, right? The pain in my lower back was close to a 10. I mean, it was excruciating. Then the pain in my knees was like a 6 or 7. Then the pain in my shoulders was like a 6 or 7. And I was just sitting there going, oh my God, like, and I have a high pain tolerance.
You do, yes.
And I was just sitting there in pain going, what is happening to me?
I was asking you questions and you couldn't even answer me because I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, how did they send you home like this? Like normally Dr. Z would text me, hey, you might not be so good.
With me. Yeah, he sat and chatted with me.
He would give me an update or make sure Steve does this. Like he sends me your post-op care instead of telling you because he knows you don't listen. And so he didn't say anything. I was like, well, what did Dr. Z say when you left? And you wouldn't even answer my questions. And I'm like, how did you get home? And you were like, I don't know. The last thing I really remember is Green Hall, which is right by Dr. Z's. Yeah. So I was like, there's a lot you don't remember.
All I remember is Green Hall. And then I remember going, oh crap, I got to make it home. And then I remember sitting in our driveway for a while, like trying to convince myself to get out. Like I almost just wanted to lay there in the truck.
Yeah.
And then I almost wanted to lay in the garage because I was like, oh my God, but I got to get to my bed. Like if I can just get to my bed. And then you guys had to put the heating pad on me.
Yeah, you asked me to turn the heater on and you asked for the heating pad. So I called Dr. Z because normally when you have a fever, you want to cool the person down. They say, no, I know you want blankets, but like take the blankets off. But it was weird. At first, you did not have a fever. You started to warm up a little, but it wasn't like a huge fever spike. And Dr. Z was like, it's okay. Like turn on the heater if he wants the heater. He was like, make him a cup of hot tea. Like, just like he's sick. He's like, he said, you're going to have to write it out. It might be the next 3 hours. He's like, but let me know where he's at in an hour.
In an hour, feeling better. In 2 hours, feeling much better. I now feel, this is what's crazy. I feel amazing.
You're such a weirdo.
I feel, my knees feel amazing. Normally, when I bend over or sit down to shit or squat down.
You have a squatty potty.
I have, but I'm at that age where my knees creak and my knees hurt a little when they don't hurt anymore. I feel fucking amazing. So much so that what happened to me, I might be willing to do it again.
Okay, because that is not what you said about an hour and a half, 2 hours out. When I came back, because I had to run an errand and I came back.
Again. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, you said, I don't know if I'm going to do this again.
But I feel so good. Renae, I'm telling you, I feel amazing. I feel awake. I feel very clear. I'm already a wake up in the morning. Let's rah.
Yes,
let's go guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel better than ever.
Yeah. And this is no steroid shot, Steve. Because Dr. Z was like, if it's really bad and he needs help getting over the hump, he's like, I can give him a steroid shot or I can call him in a steroid just to help him get through it. But you woke up like,
I feel great. Yesterday I felt amazing. My knees feel amazing.
No,
I'll be honest with you, like it freaked me out. Like I was scared.
No, after you got into bed, I called Rick because I had a feeling he could see me decorating the podcast studio on the cameras if he turned them on at home. I was like, I don't think we're going to podcast today. And you podcast through being sick. So I knew when I told Rick, I don't think he's going to be able to podcast. Rick knew too. Oh, it's got to be really freaking bad because Steve will podcast in a hoodie, like feeling awful.
It was crazy, but I feel absolutely amazing.
Well, the other thing it made me wonder is like, because I get them, I got it, like 2 weeks ago. I felt same thing, felt a little tickle in my throat. So I went to Dr. Z's and got an IV with NAD in it. I have never responded to it that way. So I'm like, what is happening in your body that it goes into like shock like that? That's what's crazy. I wonder if it's the tobacco use because you're a tobacco user.
What was most crazy to me is that it really, I could feel like it felt like the NAD was attacking my cells where they were worst. My knees, my lower back, my shoulders. I could feel like inflammation. I could feel something happening in my shoulders, in my knees, in my lower back.
Yeah.
So it really felt like the NAD was like, let me take care of this, but let me take care of it now.
But that's not even what you went in for. Like you went in for,
Just because I had a little tickle.
Yeah. You know, Dr. Z, the way he described it, he says, okay, we're going to have to even cut back more on the NAD dose.
Well, I talked to Rick about it, and I'm really curious, Rick, did you do any research?
Zero.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
there's
pulled
no
it up
way
on
I'm
my
doing it.
phone because I was like, if we're going to
Well,
devote this much time to talking about it, we should know a little more.
I can't wait for Chief to get back to me because Chief asked me about it. And he was like, hey, how you doing? I told him the story. And I told him how great I feel. And Chief, my professor, my jiu-jitsu instructor.
We'll like dive into the research.
Yeah, he'll nerd out on it.
Read it.
So,
yeah.
Because he's been doing jiu-jitsu for 30 years.
Yeah.
And on your knees, getting tapped out, your shoulders extended. And, so he has issues with his biceps, his shoulders. So I'm really interested to see what he comes up with.
Okay. So just like basic, what Google tells me, and I'm going to butcher it because I can't even say it. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide.
I'm glad I didn't have to read that shit.
It's a coenzyme found in all living cells to promote cell repair and regeneration, boost energy levels, and improve cognitive function.
I feel great.
It's an essential enzyme in the body that regulates various cell functions in the body. And it's present in all living cells in the human body. It's necessary for bodily functions and cellular processes.
I did have a nice shit after.
Including metabolism, immune health, and DNA repair. The pros outweigh the con. You didn't think that an hour in.
I was like, what's happening?
Sure about this.
I felt like I was Wolverine, like going through the.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that. You're drooling, you're shivering. Yes. I was waiting for little porcupine quills to pop out of you.
I'm just interested, like now, if Rick is, because Rick has bad knees. When you play basketball and you're Rick's size,
yeah,
you just kick the crap out of your knees.
Yeah.
Right. The constant jumping and up and down that Rick did, and the squatting and the dribbling and all of that.
Yeah.
His knees are shot. So I'm interested to see if Rick even would consider doing it.
No, sir.
Yeah, but you're talking about it for bones and joints, and I don't know that it works on like a bone and joint level.
My knees feel great.
I also think you are like slightly a crazy person.
No, my knees feel amazing. I'm the
Rick
Wolverine.
just giggled because Rick kind of agrees.
I'm the Wolverine. I just went back 10 years in my life. I feel great. And then they kept it. I was like,
I'm looking at him and he's got this like sparkle in his eye.
Dude, I feel great.
A freak.
I feel great. But it was quite the experience, and I'm wondering if anybody out there in our land, friends and out there listening and watching, I wonder if they've ever done it. And I'd love to hear their feelings and thoughts on NAD.
Yeah.
If they've done it. Then the funny part is, I'm talking to Arturo about it, right? Arturo's girlfriend is a fertility doctor. Right?
Okay.
So he goes, I'm going to ask Jan what she knows about NAD, right?
Yeah.
So he goes and then he sends me a message and he goes, well, I have some in my freezer because Jan insisted that I do it, that it would help, but I didn't do it and I ignored her. So he sent me literally a picture of him holding the NAD in a vial because he has the injections. He's like, I might actually do it now after knowing how great you feel. But I'm interested. I mean, it was quite the ride.
I bought it in the vitamin form. You haven't taken the vitamins. Maybe you keep taking the vitamin. I mean, I know it's, because you are so sensitive to it intravenously. I think I said that correctly.
Intravenously.
That's what we're good for. Not giving medical advice, but making it funny.
Yeah, dick jokes.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I have it in vitamin form. Not vitamin form, but in
pill form.
a little capsule.
I wonder how much how much it gives you or whatever. I'm gonna ask Dr. Z what if I should even do that.
Let's ask a medical professional.
Yeah. But I also feel like all these cancers and all this stuff that is in the world. It's all the crap, right? And if NAD costs me a little bit to add to rejuvenate my cells, and it really works,
Yeah.
you know, it might be worth doing.
Yeah. Maybe quitting the tobacco too.
Oh my God. I'm working
I'm
on
sorry.
it.
I'm
working
sorry.
on it.
I knew that was going to make you really grumpy, and you were in a good mood.
am in
Hopefully
a
the
good mood.
NAD helps with mood.
Well, speaking of being grumpy, here's the update on the drama.
What a wonderful segue.
On the drama going on with my vehicle.
Do you think
that I
anybody
bought.
cares?
They should care. They should care. But I somehow, I'm not going to say how, I got the owner's number. And I text the owner and I said, look, I'm out of options.
Because people love you and care about you.
Yes.
That's how you got it.
I've been treated very poorly by these two people. And I'd like your help to resolve it. And holy shit, did the aggressive take it or leave it attitude that I got from the GM, all of a sudden he calls me up, hey, Mr. Trevino, love to have a discussion. And so we are now in a much better place.
Well, I don't know because we don't have a vehicle to drive, but
Yep.
they at least picked it up and are looking at it.
It was so crazy. Rick, this is how crazy it is. I didn't want to deal with them anymore. So I took that van to another GMC dealership, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Because one of them, the first one, was like, whoever sold you this van needs to deal with it.
Needs to take it back.
Because we're not going to deal with it. We don't want these issues. It is bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I understand. I'll take it to another GMC dealership. Because I did not want to go to Bull Verde to deal with it.
That's
Because,
not where it is.
where is it? Bee Caves. Bee Cave. I did not want to go to Bee Cave to this dealership where I already thought that they already have this attitude of screw you.
Yeah.
Right? So then I took it across the street to another GMC dealership who they have no idea who I am. They have no idea what's going on. I told them I had this van. I walked them through it. And they also were like, yeah, we're not dealing with this. Whoever sold you this van needs to deal with it. Because whatever they did and they sold you this van, they need to figure it out. Because it is not right and we don't want any issues.
Yeah.
2 GMC dealerships, without knowing the situation, without knowing all the history of all the crap I've been through, were like, F you, whoever sold you this van screwed you. We're not dealing with it.
I think we should also point out that it is a case of kind of people passing the buck, because there are both issues on the outside body, which is the maker of the vehicle, as well as the inside of the van, which is the retrofitters.
Yep.
So people are sort of saying, well, this person is responsible. Well, this person is responsible. We can't fix those things. Well, we don't fix those things.
But
that's how bad it is. That it's bad on the outside and the inside.
But Rick, isn't that so telling that 2 other dealerships were like, I ain't dealing with this?
Yeah. Is it a mechanical issue?
No, it's not a mechanical issue. It is let me put it to you this way.
Things are falling off the outside, lights. There's parts of the door when you open it, it creaks. The front bumper has come off, like just with regular driving.
The grill, okay? The grill that they have on there, on one side, I can't get close to putting my finger in the seam.
Yeah.
The other side, I can put my whole finger in.
Your whole thumb, your big old fat thumb fits in there.
And I mean, it's just crazy. And it's like, at one point, it was funny because the guy I was dealing with, the GSM over there in Bee Cave, he was like, man, I've sold a ton of these vans. This is the worst one we've ever sold. I've never dealt with this. And I go, well, don't you think that you should be a little sympathetic to the poor bastard that bought it? Don't you think you should say, oh my God, I'm sorry that this happened to you? Oh my God, this is terrible.
On a brand new vehicle. That's the other
Brand
thing.
new.
Like, to make it clear, this is not a used vehicle. We bought a brand new vehicle.
And I'm like, this guy over there never used words like, I'm sorry. And that's what people don't understand. Man, words go a long way.
yeah.
You know, and sincerity, right? Going, oh my God, I feel terrible that we sold you this vehicle. I'm sorry. Let me get a look at it. Let me see what we can do. It was literally.
Just imagine if it was them.
I even told him that. I go, had you sold this van to your mom, Would you be treating her
Yo,
this way?
mama.
Would you be treating her this way?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's insane. And at one point, he kept trying to sell me on something else and sell me on this and sell me on that. And I go, take off your salesman hat and put on your customer service hat.
Yeah.
And have some fucking compassion for the fact that I bought a very, very expensive van.
Yeah.
And it is literally...
I think it's also, I mean, it's the whole situation is frustrating, but you are a very compassionate human being. You also have a very good understanding of customer service, and it's very important to you. And you are clearly dealing with someone who is not that kind of person by nature.
Well, look, I've said it before, and this couldn't be a better segue into how much we love Coastal Bend Auto Group.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, dude, those guys will take your phone call. They will talk you through it. They will take care of any issues. They actually sold a truck to Brian, the writer, and literally within a few weeks, things went wrong. And he called them, and they were like, absolutely, bring it in. We'll take care of it for free. We feel terrible that happened to you. You know, we did inspect the vehicle, and we did send it to you thinking that everything was going to be great. Here you are a month later. Things aren't great. Bring it in. Yeah. We'll take care of you. So I'm telling you right now, anywhere in Texas, they will take care of you. They will match any price, any dealership. They'll deliver it to you. Coastal Bend Auto Group, Aztec Chevrolet, give them a shot, because what I'm dealing with over here is unbelievable. I told the owner in my text message, I said, it feels like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Because not only was I like, okay, screw you guys, I'm done dealing with you guys. Mm-hmm. I'll go deal with another GMC dealership, to then find out that I'm even more trapped, because I can't even deal with another GMC dealership to fix the van, because they're like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with it. There's too many issues. That whatever happened over there, you need to deal with it over there. Isn't that crazy, Rick?
Yeah. You know, if you go to like write reviews and stuff, the national side of, you said it's GMC?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll basically step in.
Well, so that was what I told the owner. I said, my next step is to go to GM. Because at one point, Rick, my front seat, driver's seat, was not bolted to the floor. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, you should go with a Ford. None of that would have happened.
Oh, shit. Tater chip. Here we go. So we shall see. We shall see what transpires.
Yeah.
Moving forward, because
we want our van for summer. The whole thing is like we thought, you know what? We'll load. It's summer's coming. We'll load the kids in the car. We'll just take a little longer to get to places.
But you know, I want out of that vehicle for that price. I can go find something else.
Yeah.
That fits our needs, because it was, you know, it's definitely something that fit our needs for comedy touring,
yeah,
for baseball tournaments, you know, stuff like that.
Makes sense for our family.
But you know, that particular retro company, I don't trust anymore, because of all the things that were wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I need to find another option. Is what the goal is. But you know, the sad part is I was willing to continue to deal with them had they been nice. I thought in my head, hey, I'll take a little bit of a loss. You take a little bit of a loss. I'll buy another vehicle from you, and you give me a break. We help each other out. Like,
right.
You know,
a reasonable solution.
And that didn't transpire. So I'm really bummed about it. And a quick update on the baseball women that are evil. They're still evil. And it turns out they are now running around town trying to poach other coaches, and they're disgusting again. So you know what ladies I'm talking about. Other than that, I don't want to get into more detail.
Who else is on your shit list this morning? Let's check them off.
Nobody else. I feel great.
No?
We're so excited that... No, never you. I mean, you're always on my shit list, but...
I always have a current place.
You're always wearing me out. We did put the rag top on the GMC Hummer, and holy crap, does that make that car cool.
Yeah. Did you take it off this morning driving the kids to school?
Yeah. But Garrett wanted to.
Yeah.
We are gearing up for our biggest Easter party yet.
Yeah.
And I will be busting my butt today in the yard and getting everything in order and
Yeah.
ready to go. And I'm
We
very...
still have cascarones that need to be filled. We had so many eggs. We dyed them, but we did it like in an evening and we didn't finish. They need time to dry. You know, we talked about the whole process. So I still have cascarones that need confetti and tops glued on them.
Well, I need to reach out to my neighbor, Mike, because yesterday, instead of having convulsions in my bed, we were supposed to go to Home Depot because I want to build a beautiful cross
Yeah.
to put in the backyard for Easter. And
We
for
might
people
have to, I don't know. You think we can make that happen
I'm
too
gonna make
with
it
everything
happen.
else?
I'm gonna call Mike. You know, Mike is such a wonderful neighbor, and
Yeah.
we're so lucky to have him and Christina next door, and
Yeah.
they're just absolutely amazing people. And I know he said he was going to help me do that as a contribution. So I got to call him today to find out where we're at.
I'm on the fence about the goats. I know we've had the goat pin, so then I was like, okay, we got to get the goats. Let's get them before Easter. And then I text a good friend who I knew had the little pygmy they had Nigerian goats, I think. And I said, hey, do you still have your Nigerian goats, to find out like where she got them from? And she's like, oh no. She's like, we got rid of those things. She goes, they started bonking horns and the kids wouldn't go back there. We got rid of those things. And so I'm like, are we going to regret getting goats?
Well, the good news is that you know, goats can be very tasty. So if we need to get rid of them, you know, we'll get rid of them. We'll do what we got to do. So
we can't do
I still
that.
want to get the little pygmy goats. I still want to get the little ones. And me and you talked about taking a little drive and seeing.
I think after this, we're going goat shopping, Rick.
we might go goat shopping. Yeah. Does it get any more country than that? Me and the missus, we're gonna go out there and go goat shopping. me and the little lady, we're gonna go goat shopping.
But my hope is that if we have the goats, because they say like they're whatever. No, there's that goats that do that. I don't even know. Your face. But they say the goats do that, and it vibrates the ground, so it scares the rattlesnakes off too. And then also things that want to eat your chickens. So I'm hoping that if we have the goats, we can let the chickens free roam a little more.
I don't know, man. These dang foxes out here, they're literally I mean, you cannot.
They run across during the day. Like in the morning, driving the kids to school, sometimes we'll see a fox running across someone's yard.
It's
so
pretty
it's not
crazy.
even like, my hope is that we could like let them out during the day and they would be safe. But
well, and I also have the back acreage over there that I'm gonna fence off, where we could put the goats over there and let the goats kind of clean up back there and do their thing, because they don't stop eating ever.
Yeah,
goats are savages. They'll eat everything. You know, even the little obstacle course I built for them, people are like, oh, they're going to eat that.
They're going to destroy that.
They're going to destroy it. Yeah.
Whatchamacallit, the lady told me, she said, if you're letting them like free roam in the back, so we do need to get a gate, that then you don't have to give them as much feed or hay. It's just that when they're not free roaming, you got to.
Well, you know, I got the gate set up back there, and you know, in the next few months, we're going to start building the arena for little Delilah and her horses.
Let's get the kids to clean up some animal poop first before we start getting more animals.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'm excited about it, and we're gonna get there. Delilah loves horseback riding, and Garrett loves it.
Rick, you know what this man tells me whenever he says he has an idea, and then I'm like, whoa, let's like hang on, pump the brakes, and I start asking questions. He's like, why you gotta shit on my ideas? It's just an idea. I'm not doing it yet. And then he'll look over at me and be like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this. And it's like, that's why I get anxious, and that's why I tell you to pump the brakes, and that's why I start asking questions, because you'll say it's just an idea, but it's not just an idea.
I'm a doer.
It is a vision. You've got plans in place.
I'm a doer.
You know when it's happening.
Guy, I'm a doer. Okay. That was one of my favorite things, that my friend Abel's daughter, she was like 8, and she was like, Mr. Steve, you're a doer. She's like, when you say you're going to do something, we do it. And I was like, that's right. I'm a doer. I make things happen. You're a perfectionist, and you start things and we never finish them.
That is not true.
Renae.
That is not true.
Rick, wait till you see how beautiful. So we had the beautiful back, and Renae had these. She brought these agaves, and she's like, I'm gonna put these agaves here, and then she was like, and I go, hey, we need pots. That was a year ago.
I was like, I better buy pots for these plants before people come back to our house again for Easter. But it was literally
a year ago.
Well, no, because it's a thing. It's a
but
trek.
I can't go because God
You'll
forbid.
pick ugly pots.
God forbid I pick the wrong pots. So I bought them, and then I'm like, hey, we need pots. I want to make it look nice over here. Oh, yeah. I got to get the right ones. A year later. This is a year later, folks.
Because going to the pot store was not a priority.
You know those people.
We're talking about plant pots.
You know those
I said
people that
it made me
start
think of your
projects
joke.
and then they just leave those projects there and they're never quite done? That's Renae.
That's not true.
I start a project, I'm in it, and I'm going to finish it, and it's going to be done. Renae starts a project, and then it's just there. Right or
That's
wrong?
not true. No, there are pots there. I went and got the pot.
A year later.
I made it a priority. I need deadlines. That's what I am.
12
I'm a
months
person who needs deadlines.
later. 12 months later.
Okay, now I don't like you very much.
I'm just saying. Rick, would that drive you crazy?
It does drive me crazy.
Are you me or you're Renae?
I'm a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah. But when you start a project, you want it done.
I do, but I've been working on a closet now for 3 years.
Oh,
It's just about what is your priority. The pots were not my priority, but now there's a deadline, so I had to make them a priority. So it got moved up the list. That's all it is.
So on top of getting my yard and everything to look like a park,
because you will forget that the kids need food because you will be so focused on your project out there. So then I come in and I make sure the kids get food because that's a priority, right? That's just the way we work.
I'm just saying, Rick, on top of when you get here, I promise you that my place is going to be pristine. And my goal has always been that people come to my house, go to the back property and go, it looks like a park or a Marriott.
It does look like a park back there.
Right? That's
Yes.
my goal. So on top of keeping everything pristine, okay,
But you will-
solo.
Shut
Solo.
your mouth. That is
Solo.
not fair. Shut your mouth. I was back there with you at the agaves.
Only because I needed
Putting
help.
dirts
but
and no.
on top of all
I
that-
also unloaded the truck with all those heavy ass pots by myself. They're huge pots.
on top of that, she's like, oh, and I need the agaves in the pots before. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's add that to my list of shit I got to do, and which I'm happy to do. And it looks, wait till you see it, Rick. It looks, finally, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, this could have been this gorgeous for a year. Instead, we had them in those like original black,
They're plastic black containers.
the
that
ones you
buy
cut
them from the
open so you can.
landscaper.
And the only reason she helped is because I needed help to carry them, and then it was a whole thing. But we did do it together. I enjoyed doing it with you together. We did it together. But
Together.
And then so the other day, Miss Dora, she did a video walking back to go get chicken eggs.
Oh, I don't know if I saw it. I don't
Grandma,
think I saw it. I
Grandma
missed it.
Dora wanted chicken eggs, so she went back there and she filmed like walking back there, and all the comments were like, "Oh my God, it looks like a park. Oh my God, it's beautiful." And I'm like, I did that. I planted seeds, and it's so crazy when you really think about what it looked like back there when we bought this house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't
And what
that
it looks like
crazy?
now. Yeah.
I mean, I all the trees I got out of there.
I'm
mean,
just
it's-
bummed we didn't. We planted. We threw wildflower seeds back there,
But
And I don't-
everywhere, there's not
they didn't bloom this year.
not like normal.
Not like they have in the past. Although someone told me in Dallas that the flowers are really pretty in Dallas, but they got a lot of snow this year. They had a lot of cold weather. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I don't know. I mean, they just didn't pop like they normally pop. And
Yeah.
then in our new area that we did 2 weeks ago, we transplanted bushes. We pulled some bushes out of an area, then moved them to this other area. I would like anybody out there to help us with how do you transplant plants, because they did not make it.
They went into shock.
I don't know what
They
happened.
say that happens, when you move plants, they go into shock sometimes.
And we watered them, and we, put them back in great dirt.
And it wasn't like,
good,
I was going to say, it wasn't like it was different soil conditions because we literally just moved them a couple of feet.
and
the
it
ground,
wasn't,
the earth
and we
was
didn't
the
leave
same.
the roots out of the dirt for very long. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, it was pull them out, put them in, and they're just, I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe one of them takes, or
Yeah.
but we're gonna have to.
They're slowly withering away.
We're gonna have to replace those guys. But Rick, I can't wait for the party. So many musician friends are gonna be here, so I'm hoping it turns into an amazing jam session. Last year we had Matt Castillo. Do you remember that?
Yep.
This year we have Jerry DeLeon, very talented young artist. That he's the one that is paid to actually sing. But we got some we got some people from Cody Johnson's band and from George Strait's band and the band Vallejo, and I'm just hoping that maybe they creep over there and give us a
Leave them
little treat.
alone. It's Easter Sunday.
Well, I'm going to tell them, Jesus is watching, and Jesus would like you to share your talents with the nice folks here. But it is. I'm very, very excited because normally we have 2 or 3 parties a year, and then this year we did not. So we hadn't really had a big party in our area over there all year. So I'm very excited about this one.
Do you know what I realized? I was like, I'm very excited about it. One, because Easter is so much fun. But also I was like, once the Easter stuff gets put away, there's a break, like a big
Long
break. We go into like summer mode and the house will just get set and be set for a while. It's a lot of work once Halloween, because it's Halloween. Halloween
is the next big one.
And then it feels like it's nonstop rotation
from Halloween to
here at the house. So I'm
there will be a long break.
I'm ready to pack up the shipping container full of holiday decor for a while.
And I'm going to try this year to enjoy more of the party. Last year, I found myself cooking for the first 2 hours. So
yeah.
I'm going to try to time it better where I think we'll go to church at 9:30.
In the morning?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Mom told me. I told Mom that we were thinking we would go to Mass the night before, the Saturday Mass. You know what she told right away? She goes, no, you don't want to do that. She's like, it's a 2-hour-long Mass. She's like, they do all the first communions. They light all the candles for all kinds of different things. She's like, it's the longest Mass ever. If you go, sit in the back so you can sneak out. But then everybody's going to stare at you, she told me.
Well, that was my other question, is where to put the Porta-John.
How do we go from Mass to Porta-Johns?
I'm just saying. You're talking about everybody seeing you.
Oh.
Right? So Renae goes, we'll put the Porta-John right here. And I go, literally in front of everybody so they can watch you. Nobody wants to see people go in and go out. And then if you got to poop, you don't want to be in there too long and people know you're in there too long. We need to put the...
Nobody is watching how long someone goes into the porta potty.
I don't know.
I think it needs to be kind of visible so that people aren't asking us, where do we go to the restroom constantly?
We're definitely upping our game. Renee at one point was like, well, let me see how much the air conditioning
the trailers.
I'm like, dude.
By the time you rent the trailer porta potties, I was like, at that point you might as well install a toilet in the barn, because we already have the plumbing things.
They're very expensive.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do just a regular Porta-John. So, but with the guys, I mean, there's tons of trees to pee on, so I'm not worried about the guys. But very excited about Easter Sunday. Can't wait to get back on the podcast next week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the Easter decorations up, since we'll talk about Easter next week anyway.
Oh, we can do that.
They're cute.
We can do that.
It's like a little him and her bunny.
And then we got to figure out where to hide the golden egg.
But there's 2.
Do you know Delilah remembers that you took her golden egg away?
I did not take it away from her. That was you.
I did not touch. I did not.
You said, we're the host house. Our kids cannot end up with the golden egg. That looks very suspicious.
Nope. Delilah found the golden egg and Renee took it away.
No, I didn't.
And she remembers.
She remembers. Your memory is skewed.
She remembers.
Your memory is skewed. I'm telling you.
She brought it up the other day. She's like, remember Mom took my golden egg away? And I was like, yep, that's who Mom is. That's your mother.
Delilah update. Delilah and I are doing better. She does not make me cry on a weekly basis now. She loves me at the moment. She wants to cuddle with me.
She is loving on you more than I would like. Yeah. I'm glad to see that you guys are getting along though.
Yeah.
Because it was rough.
But you know what? I have another mom friend. Well, before, when I was pregnant with Delilah, I had a couple of mom friends tell me, oh, Renee, buckle up. Girls are hard. And I just thought, no, my mom and I have a really good relationship. I'm going to have a really good relationship with my daughter. I don't think we're going to have those kind of issues. And then, oh my God, I didn't want those issues. And somehow I had them. But I also remember one of my girlfriends saying, it comes in phases. The girls are really hard in phases, and then you'll get over a hump and it's good. And we'll see how long this good phase lasts, but we're not.
I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, because when you're having trouble with her, then me and you are having troubles, because you're so sad and so upset and so mad at her. And you're like, At one point, you looked at me and go, I just want her to be my best friend. And she doesn't like me. And I'm like, well, that's on you, bruh. Because you tell her no. And then Renae did say that. She goes, well, you know, I when I was a kid, I got along with my mom. And, you know, and I go, yeah, but your mom, and I know your parents, they just said yes to everything. The problem is you tell Delilah no. And Delilah has told me that. She's like, Daddy, Mommy says no. You say yes. That's what I love about my goddaughter, Kylie. She wrote a song when she was little, and it was the funniest thing. And she'd walk around the house singing, Mommy says no, Daddy says yes. Mommy says no, Daddy says yes.
I remember when she would sing that.
Well, the scary part is, because Rick has 3 boys.
Yeah.
Gigi doesn't get her girls until she gets daughter-in-laws.
I was going to say grandbabies, daughter-in-laws, yeah.
So she ends up with 3 daughter-in-laws. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Like, oh.
Why is that a throw-up reaction?
Oh, I couldn't imagine dealing with daughter-in-laws. Watching a daughter-in-law boss my son around. I'll be like, oh, my God, poor bastard. That's what my parents must feel when they see me. They're just like, oh.
No, your parents tell me, oh, I'm so grateful Steve found you. He'd be in prison if it wasn't for you.
No, I always tell people, I'm like, oh my God, you know, Renee's a pain in my ass. And my parents always go, it's your fault. It's your fault. You spoil her. You give her everything she wants and you spoil her and it's your fault. So don't complain. No, you're the one that gives it to her.
No, that sounds like Grandpa Joe. That's probably Grandpa Joe's the one who says that. That sounds like
let's go ahead and thank
Joe.
our sponsors, our friends over at Pick Cherries. Please download the app and listen to our podcast on Pick Cherries.
Yes.
Where you can actually pick a cherry. Old Salt Coffee, which Renee is drinking this morning and loving. It is absolutely amazing. It is the best brewed coffee you can get at the house. Old Salt Coffee. Trevino 10 gets you a little bit of a discount. That helps out. You can get a subscription. Don't have to go to the store anymore for coffee. Raw Western Wear. I know we're out of sizes. We're working on it, but please continue to support.
Yes, and they have kid shirts. We haven't talked about that on the podcast, but they make
Family Picture Day shirts.
Size shirts as well, and they are beautiful. Same quality. They're beautiful.
Can we announce what I talked about the other day yet?
I don't think so.
We still can't talk about it?
Well, they were going to put out an official press release. I think it's going to get some news coverage, and that hasn't happened just yet. So I don't have the okay from them yet to share.
Big deal for Miss Renae, Captain Evil. And we're also, again, falling behind the ball, but we're going to raise some money for CASA.
Yes.
With the
We're
Mother's Day
taking
podcast.
the live Mother's Day podcast. Yes, the tickets are not on sale yet, but we should have them up hopefully by the end of the week.
Very, very excited about it, and we're doing great things. And everybody, enjoy your Easter weekend.
Yes,
enjoy it.
Happy Easter.
Remember, it's not about eggs and Easter bunnies. It is about the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So please remember to say a little prayer on Sunday, not to the rabbit. Not to the rabbit. So we love you guys so very much. Thank you very much. Rick, we will see you Sunday. Can't wait. I want you in your Easter best. I want you and the boys matching. And I want to get Rick drunk out again. I will get Rick drunk one day again, because drunk Rick is the best Rick. Thank you guys.
Rick, we like you when you're not drunk too.